Attention, Craft Beer Republic listeners. As we enter January, we face a terrifying annual epidemic. Dry January.
Say it isn't so, Greg.
Sadly, it's true, Flex.
That's right. Every year, millions of craft beer drinkers make the questionable choice to stop drinking craft beer for an entire month. A month!
A month without hops? Without malts?
And a whole month without the joy of cracking open a cold one with friends? And a salty string of pretzels around your neck? It sounds
inhumane!
It doesn't have to be this way. Together, we can fight this.
We must fight.
That's why we've created the Craft Beer Emergency Hotline. If you or someone you love is considering dry January, call us. Operators are standing by, but fading quickly, to remind you of the joy of fresh pints and to talk you through your darkest kombucha cravings.
Call 805-538-BEER. That is 805-538-BEER, because no one should have to suffer alone.
For the cost of 1 to maybe 25 pints a week, you can provide hope to a struggling IPA, a neglected sour, or a lonely lager.
Think of the hops.
This January, drink responsibly-ish, but don't dry up entirely, because no one's ever been inspired by a story that starts with, I drank kombucha for 30 days.
Save a beer, save a life.
Call now. Operators might be standing by. Hiccup.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking, thanks for joining, and Happy New Year. I am Greg, and I am surprised as everyone to be joined by the New Year cherub himself, and that's Flex. What's up, big fella?
Hey, some things came up, and then they went down, and then they came up, and then they threw up, and everything got sorted out. It's all good.
They got flushed. Yeah, everything got flushed out. And then Flex's more than qualified fill-in, and now just hanging out to party, everyone's favorite salty sailor. That's Erica. What's happening?
Hey, friends. A lot less pressure now that Flex is here. I can just screw up all that I want. Happy to be here.
Zero pressure. I put zero pressure on anybody.
Erica was like prepping her short shorts and everything. She thought she'd have to fill in for you.
Seriously, I got out the scissors and started doing squats.
That's adorable.
Yeah, but the pressure's off, so we're good now. Thank you all for jumping in on this first recording of the new year. I'm excited.
Officially the new year.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Excited to be hanging out with all y'alls. It's always nice to start the new year with a party. So here we are. Business, follow us at Craft Beer Republic, at FlexMeABeer, _ in between, and of course at Necknosh _ LLC for all your salty goodness. Shout out to our top listening city of last week, Medford, New Jersey.
Hey, they love us.
Yeah, the alcohol laws suck, but the people are great. Thanks for listening.
Awesome.
Yeah. Before we get anywhere into the show, I have to warn everybody listening at home. Apologies in advance if you hear people getting murdered or the construction zone or whatever it is that's going on next door to me. My neighbors are like remodeling some shit, and there has been saws and jackhammers and all kinds of shit. So I'm hoping I'm hoping it doesn't come through.
Well, I haven't heard a single thing yet, so I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'm looking at my window. I think they stopped for dinner or something, because I don't see any action right now, but it has been so fucking obnoxious. Nothing like being on a conference call and I was like, it's like, okay, thank you.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's some work they got going on. Right,
yeah.
Honking some horns for fun.
Roger Rabbit over there just going crazy. So honestly, it's our fault. We redid I think I told the saga of the pain in the ass of redoing our kitchen last year. Not redoing, but like refacing our cabinets and stuff. And the neighbor was looking at it. She's like, this is great. I want to do it and whatever. And she's cheap And so she decided that she could handle it herself and was like, I'm going to do it all by myself. So she started with the cabinets. She, no joke, took each and every one off, sanded it, painted it, sanded it, painted it. Like did it the right way.
Done that before.
They looked good. And then once she figured out she could do that, she was like, oh, I'm going to rip up my tile and put down some laminate. And so that's what they're in the process of right now is ripping up tile. And I'm like, oh my God, just hire somebody.
Yeah, so much work.
Sounds like a mess.
Yeah. Like maybe if I didn't have a job, I would undertake a project like that. But it's like, fuck, I got to work all day and then go like tear up tile.
Right. It sounds way too much. I would never do something like that.
Yeah. And you'd definitely be doing it until midnight, pissing everyone off if you had to go to work and then come home and crack open the sander. And yeah.
Exactly. So it's a Festivus miracle that she's not doing anything right now. Well, while it's quiet, I'm just going to tell you guys what I'm drinking over here. Oh, it smells so good. I am drinking. Thanks, Not Murderer John, for the hookup on this one. I am drinking Monkish Brewing's Nelsie. It's a hazy pale ale, double dry hopped pale ale showcasing the dank Nelson Sauvin hops. 5.9%, which to me solidly puts it into IPA range. But who's counting? Come on, 6 is an IPA.
Yeah, that's 5.9.
Yeah, okay, touche. And a very respectable 4.32 on Untapped.
And so, nobody's surprised about that number.
No, I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Some breweries get the name brewery bump, like Monkish or Treehouse or any of those. But let's find out if it's worth it. The schnoz is like fruit punch. It smells so good. It's so like the Nelson shines so hard. It's tropical and fruity, and just I can't wait to dig more than just my tongue or more than just my nose in.
Hey,
and more than my tongue.
It's a family show.
New year, new you, Greg.
Oh, this is. I mean, you guys can see how perfectly hazy this is.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Pretty.
Some real nice lacing on it. It is the smoothest mouthfeel this side of the Mississippi. A lot of times pales, even hazy pales, don't quite achieve that smooth, pillowy, soft mouthfeel like the IPAs can, just because they have a lower malt bill and whatnot. This fucking nails it. Pillowy, soft. The Nelson shines. It is fruity. It is fragrant. It is so good. And I'm sad I only have one.
I was going to say, I'm jealous over here. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Thanks to Not Murderer John for the hookup. Every now and then
and I love Nelson hops. That's just
I know. Flex
probably the best hop around.
Yeah. You're a Nelson hoe for show. That Nelson too. I think I've told this story. I used to hate Nelson hops, or I thought I hated Nelson hops, because the very first all Nelson beer I had was absolutely disgusting.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, these are fucking garbage. And then it
turned out to be a shit beer, right?
It turned out to be a shit beer. So
Thank
here
goodness
we are.
you tried it again.
Yeah. I'm glad I got back on that horse. Otherwise, you never know. All right, we haven't talked, dude. It's so weird. So a little peek behind the curtain. When we recorded our last episode, it was with Mel, and it was literally a day before we would have normally recorded the episode. So,
all right, yeah,
wasn't that long ago. I feel like it's been a month and a half. Like
it
Christmas
feels
and New Year's,
like a year. Yeah, like 100%.
It's been so long. The holidays are just nuts. But anyways, how was your guys' holiday? Erica's fresh off a vacation and where she couldn't drink, and then holidays, and how's shit over there?
We keep our Christmas super mellow. We don't travel. We tell our families to stay away.
Oh, can you adopt me?
So I know. And I feel bad for all the other people like went to this in-laws and then this one and then this, because Christmas is ours. It was so chill. I was the laziest I've been in a really long time, but we just got back from a crazy 2-week trip to Egypt and United Arab Emirates. So really we needed that downtime. And yeah, just chilled and drank some good beers and ate good food and had some nice family time.
I have to ask, how was Egypt? And I preface this with Scott recently went to Egypt and fucking hated it.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot of booze available. So we did the bougier end of things, right? We had like the private transfer and the private guide. And we wanted things really safe too. We have kids.
Right.
So it was a really comfortable trip along that way. And then like we stayed on a cruise ship for half the time, like a smaller one, because we did a Nile River cruise. There was alcohol on the cruise ship. Obviously, the options are not that good.
No.
I think there was like a Sam Adams at one point I think we got a hold of. But yeah, not so
you
good.
You and me dreaming killed their entire supply of Sam Adams.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was just like, keep them coming. And, and then we just like did more cocktails, wine, stuff like that. But no, I mean, just incredible. Like seeing the pyramids and just feeling like the energy of just how ancient and 4,000. It's just really even hard for me to imagine.
Right. Once in a lifetime trip and to see like a wonder of a world. It's
crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, and our guide just made it come alive. So that was so nice. Cool. Yeah, so it was really cool.
And you guys went with like another family or something, right? And
not Egypt. We did Egypt on our own. And then UAE was Abu Dhabi is with our friends live there. And they just pretty much toured us. We did Formula One races and the Eminem
You went
concert.
to like the Ferrari land, right?
We didn't go to Ferrari land because the fastest roller coaster in the world has been shut down for like a long time.
Lame.
So, yeah. And it's supposedly a huge disappointment to go there otherwise, but we did a lot of other things there and everything there is just extreme, right? And extravagant. So it was quite a contrast to like all these ancient ruins.
Yeah. How was the Eminem concert?
So nostalgic. Oh my gosh. We had so much fun.
I forgot that you went to that.
Yeah. And that was really cool. We weren't as close up to Eminem as we were Maroon 5, and I would have definitely had it the other way. But the people we were with really wanted to be close to Maroon 5. So that's cool. But
was that part of the original plan, or is that something that just so happened to be happening?
It's part of your Formula One ticket. You get into the concert. The concerts are for the Formula One attendees. So I guess like Beyonce was there one year, and I don't know. So I guess Marshall Mathers' mom died a few days before the concert. I didn't know that.
Yeah, super recent.
His voice wasn't the best, and I didn't know why. He's like at the end, like, sorry for my voice. And then I found out later that was probably why. Dude had probably been bawling, but it was still just so much fun. And we had to wait a long time in line for beer. So of course, and it was Heineken.
The one beer line.
It was Heineken,
Oof.
you guys. But I was that desperate.
I mean, if it's Heineken or no alcohol, I guess.
Desperate times.
Slap behind me.
I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll take my Heineken and give me one.
Yeah.
Or whatever's free.
Yeah.
Whatever's free.
But yeah, I could talk for days. It was an amazing trip. But
that's awesome.
Holiday was chill. So
nice.
Really good.
What about you, Flexi? You better top it with a fucking vacation.
Yeah, we went to Mars.
All right, you win.
At work, we had the busiest month ever recorded in the history of the shop.
Course.
So that was kind of fun.
Wow.
But very exhausting on everybody's part who worked there. Christmas Eve was pretty solid. After Christmas Eve at the shop, we usually grab a couple 6-packs out of the fridge. Somebody will grab a bottle of bourbon, and we'll all just kind of hang out in the back, have a couple drinks, chill, talk about how crazy everything had been the last couple of weeks, and just kind of wind down. So somebody took Eagle Park set list out of the cooler, and love Eagle Park, but something about this beer just makes me have the worst hangovers. So I kept myself to 2 beers at work because I knew we're going to my mom's house for Christmas Eve. She also bought a 6-pack of set list because she knew I was coming over. So I went to my mom's house. My younger brother grilled steaks. They were phenomenal. My mom made some really good pulled pork, cheesy potatoes, really, really nice dinner. Kids loved all the presents. Everything worked out really nicely. And I ended up having 2 more set lists at my mom's house. So fast forward to the next morning, sure shit, hangover. 4 beers within like 4 hours, and I had a headache until like 11 o'clock on Christmas Day, and I needed some Advil, needed a little bit of water. It took care of it, but it was just enough to be like, why is this doing this every time I drink it? I can drink any IPA ever, and I'm fine, and this one, it just kills my head, but... So Christmas Eve was fun, pretty fine. Christmas Day was really nice, super lazy. We didn't go to my in-laws till like 2:30. And again, going over there, it's just really chill. Drinks, presents, a nice dinner, had some tenderloin. And then, of course, we had the cannibal sandwiches.
That's right.
And probably had
so
about
gross.
3 or 4 of them myself.
No shits or anything afterwards?
No, why would you get shits if you're eating
raw meat? That's why.
Top quality, high quality meat.
Anyways.
Ground fresh by us. Like, we literally do it. So Christmas was fine. And then fast forward into New Year's. I saw at midnight for the first time on New Year's since having kids. And then my neighbors, the Coneheads, decided to light fireworks off from midnight to midnight 40.
Oh, fuck them so hard.
I was so upset.
Wow.
So my wife was going to sleep downstairs with the kids. They wanted to have like this downstairs slumber party. I worked too hard. I needed to sleep in bed. After 25 minutes of this shit, I stomped downstairs in my underwear, ready to go outside and yell at these people for what they're doing. You know, a little intimidation factor.
Sure.
And
nothing intimidates like a man in his underwear.
Right.
It was like,
get off my lawn.
It was like 6 degrees out too. So they're like, if this guy's outside and 6 degrees in his underwear, he's pissed.
Also, probably not very impressive. 6 degrees in your underwear.
Well, you know, it was dark out.
Get that Pringles can.
My wife kind of like calmed me down. She was like, it's New Year's. Just let them do their
This
thing.
is why we need wives.
So then I went back upstairs and they proceeded to light them off for 15 more minutes.
Motherfuckers.
And then the worst part was, shouldn't say the worst part, but like the cherry on top is so they have like 2 boys and then they have a 4-year-old daughter. And this chick was just running around the backyard like it was fucking noon on a summer day, screaming, hooting and hollering, playing, having a good time. So not only do you have these fireworks lighting off and you hear the hissing of the wick or the fuse, you know, all the fireworks. And then in between that, then you just hear some kids screaming their lungs out, having a good time. And it was a lot. It was a lot to take in.
Wow. You know what? It sounds like you could use a beer.
Yeah.
A world where craft beer is king. A world where muscles are bigger than growlers. Only one tongue can guide us. One man. One tongue. One tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
I couldn't let this man go sober any longer.
No, you know, and that was quite a segue because the beer I'm drinking now is actually one of the beers I purchased to partake in on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Instead, you threw it at the neighbors.
Yeah. I bought a couple triple IPAs and I'm drinking this one from Drownlands in New York. Warwick, I believe. Warwick Farms no, it's not. Yeah, Warwick. Yeah, that's where they're from.
Yeah, Mel sent me a few of those.
Yeah, they're a wonderful brewery. We've been getting a good amount of their distro for like the last 6 months. And just like yours, Greg, this is premium Nelson Sauvin hops. It is called Terra Nelson, and it is a triple hazy IPA, 10.5% ABV. Real simple untapped description. Hazy triple IPA that highlights Nelson Sauvin hops, giving it bright, tropical, winey notes akin to Sauvin Blanc. 417, 604 ratings. Pretty new, I'm assuming. I'm not from New York, but I would assume that's a pretty new beer. On the old schnoz. Definitely tell it's Nelson. You get a lot of that, which I've never smelled gooseberry before.
What about schnozberry?
But every time I smell a Nelson beer, I can never get my finger or my tongue on what I'm smelling. And I imagine that's the gooseberry.
I'll buy it.
So
I don't know what the fuck I'm smelling. That's why I couldn't do. I'm like, it smells tropical and delicious.
Yeah, it's gooseberry, I think. So we're gonna warm up the old Sung Jobby.
So here we go.
Do it.
I love the amount of carbonation on this. It is true. It is akin to a Sauvignon Blanc. Definitely get like some white wine notes to it. Not too much of like a gooseberry aroma to a flavor. And I know you usually get like a lot of white grape notes to it, but it is winey like. I enjoy it because you still get that hoppy dankness on the back end, and the carbonation is wonderful. It's like the perfect amount. $19.99 for the 4-pack. I wasn't happy, but it was worth it.
That's pretty high for Milwaukee
For
standards.
Milwaukee, yes, it is. It is. That's why I had to throw it out there. But I was pleased with my choice. Again, these guys do great things. Happy to get them, and yeah, just keep looking forward to drinking more shit by them.
Nice. Well, I don't know why we didn't do this, years ago, but Google says a gooseberry smells slightly acidic, yet sweet, with a fresh, tart, and slightly floral aroma, often compared to a mix between green grapes and currants.
It's exactly what this smells like, is everything you just read.
Yeah. It's a scent commonly associated with certain white wines like Sauvignon Blanc due to its tangy green character.
Wee.
Very nice. Well, good. Where were we? Oh, holiday stuff. Yeah, holidays happened. And you know what? I like Erica's whole, we're staying home and fuck everybody else mentality. I've been trying to instill that into my wife. She is a little more guilt-ridden than I am. And by a little, I mean extremely. She's like, no, we got to see everybody. This year, I kept it to 3 groups of people. One of them came to our house.
Nice.
And then the other 2, we had to travel. And I did not allow them to be on the same day.
That's pretty good balance.
How
Yes.
far is your travel?
The longest trip is 20 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. Is that
So.
her sister?
Yeah, honestly, her sister and my mom are about equal distance in
Okay.
terms of timing. So it's first night, Festivus, dad and associated people came over. We were supposed to go to a restaurant that kind of blew up. So they came over here.
The restaurant blew up?
The plans blew up. It'd be even funnier if the restaurant blew up. Yeah.
What a wild time.
Yeah. Serving too many nachos. And then Christmas Eve, we did her sister. And then Christmas Day, we did my mom's house. And I hate going to multiple places. It's my weird childhood trauma from 900 houses with all divorced parents and stuff. But it was as close to good as we can get it, I think. So I was not the most angry I've ever been at Christmas.
Well, that's
Okay.
good. That's
Yeah.
baby steps,
Yeah. So
And one of
fair.
my highlights was hanging out with you guys, with Mel and Shred and Sam. Hope I'm
That
not
was-
forgetting anybody.
Yes, that was Steph.
Oh, sorry, Mel.
Steph.
Wow, I
Steph.
can't believe I confused Steph and Mel.
Yeah.
Sorry, with Steph and Shred.
God, that
and
was
Sam.
fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was a good time
That's
on
a
a
good
little Graham group
I almost
hangout
forgot we did
Christmas extravaganza. Yeah.
Obviously,
So-
it was memorable for flex.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to, the
Well, no,
wife
that was
and
a good time. We stayed on for what, like 3.5 hours?
Yeah.
Oh,
Something
at
like
least,
that?
yeah. We kept having to restart our sessions because we run out of free
That's right.
time, and
Steph probably was the most schwasty, as you say, and she
Oh,
kept
yeah.
restarting it for us. I was impressed with how well she could.
it got a little dicey
It
towards
got-
the end.
At the end. At
The
the end.
last one was
last
like,
one was a little hard.
Where's
yeah,
the
okay.
link?
Right.
Yeah, she sent 3 links.
Yeah.
Hey, I give her credit. I was impressed.
Yeah, the wife and I were supposed to hang out with Mel, and it totally our fault. We got busy and we had to not do it, but we'll make that up. But it's fun. It's fun hanging out with the people you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Right,
During the
especially
holidays.
when you can't because everybody lives
Right.
here
So far
and
away.
there and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I got a voicemail from the homie Chew Your Beer, but he hooked it up. We didn't do Pozole Palooza this year, but he brought me some fucking pozole, like a big old
Really?
container. And that was very nice. Met up with him on Festivus, and he hooked it up fat. Brought me a big old container of pozole. We went to the store, bought some cabbage and some, tortilla chips. Oh, his hot sauce that he does with that. Here's how homemade it is. The
Is
hot
it
sauce came.
I was just going to ask, is it his own homemade hot sauce?
Yeah, it's homemade. It came in a Ziploc bag.
Oh my gosh.
And like we finished the pozoles and still had some hot sauce left over. And I was putting that shit on pizza, all kinds of
Dang.
stuff. So good. So
Aren't you supposed to
Really?
provide your own Tupperware for this situation?
You are, but he came to me, so I
Well,
got to get him
okay.
back his Tupperware. So
All right.
Yeah,
make
that,
sure
that
you
would
do
be
figure it
that.
out.
something if Greg had to bring his Tupperware.
yeah,
And it makes you wonder how Chew would get the pozole.
right. He just carries it to my
Right.
in his
in his
hands.
hands. Yeah, he's
cupping it.
wheezing the juice. Yeah. So
Wheeze
anyway,
the juice.
yeah. Well, speaking of Chew, let's check in with Santa Chew over here.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone. Groovy, jazzy, funky, bounce, dance as we dip into a melodic sea.
Yo, what up, homies? It's True Your Beer, and that song is Cantaloupe by US3, homie. Back in the days, that came out like a long time ago, so that shows your age. Just kidding. No, I'm not. You're old.
Into it.
That song was banging back day. It was a what hit wonder. I knew that song more as Flint Fantasia, not Cantaloupe. I don't think he even says Cantaloupe in the whole song, but he does say Flint Fantasia. So calling in to say Feliz Navidad, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo, big dog. Another year down the drain, homie. Hopefully this year is prosperous for all of us. I know it is for Greg. I saw what kind of car Greg is driving, homie, and I'm not going to say anything other than I'm a little jelly. Little PB&J, homie, little peanut butter and jelly. Very proud of your accomplishments, Greg. Anyways, homie, got to meet up with my boy Greg over Christmas Eve. Was it Christmas? No, Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve. Dropped off some pozole from my homie. Didn't have Pozole Palooza this year. Put in a little hiatus. Next year, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. It'll probably be bigger than normal. So we'll see what happens. Also, I had some other stuff to say, and I forgot, man, while you guys were talking. That belt, that cooler wrestling belt. You better not wear that shit around me, Greg, because you might get body slammed, homie. You might get body slammed, or I might have to put you in a figure 4 leg lock,
well, that's
or
a
if you camel get toe that cooler clutch. Belt, I mean, the camel clutch.
You have to be ready
the camel
to defend
toe clutch.
Oh, I'm ready.
That's from Glow. But yeah, I'm a old
camel
school
toe clutch.
80s, early 90s. Maybe last time I stopped watching wrestling was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. After that, I kind of grew up, I guess. I found chicks more attractive than buff guys, except for Flex. He kind of tickles my pickle, if you know what I'm talking about. All right, Flex. Hopefully, when I do see you, I'm gonna body slam your ass, homie.
Oh,
yeah.
Just your ass.
All right, this is Chew Your Beer. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Año Nuevo to 2025. More beers and more in between the thighs. Orale, I have to watch your piece already.
What does that even mean?
All over the place.
Oh. I feel like he just freestyles when he does this, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
I think he blacks out while he's recording and then comes to afterwards.
Even if he didn't, he should
what
claim
just
it.
happened?
Yeah. Yeah. So thanks again to the homie True Beer for the delicious pozzoles. He's like, hey, post a picture and tag me. I was like, all right. I have a picture on my phone. I still haven't posted yet. I'm such an asshole. As we discussed with Mel a couple weeks ago, I'm so bad at posting. That was our New Year's resolution, was to be better about posting. So I'll get that posted or storied or some shit or other. So thank you for the pozzoles. It's delicious. And all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Feliz Navideños. It's Christmas and New Year's put together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's totally a word.
Oh, you kind of nailed it.
805-538-BEER. That's the number to call if you want to leave us a voicemail. Before we get some news, let's make a call to the pen and find out what Eric is drinking over there.
He calls to the bullpen for beer.
Right on. So I have a Christmas gift that I received from the Santa Suds Swap that's put on by Ellie Rose and Gumbo Mud.
Oh, okay.
So you see probably all over the gram a bunch of folks receiving packages around the holidays and the Sud Swap. So it's like my 3rd or 4th year participating. It's super fun. So you have a secret Santa and you have to send them some beers and vice versa. So I got mine from Dan's Craft Beer Adventures, someone I hadn't known of or followed prior to this. So that was cool. And probably closer to your neck of the woods, Flex, because this is Lupulin.
Okay.
Schism is the beer, which I love because it's a great song by Tool.
Tool,
one of my favorite Tool songs.
Might be the only Tool song I know.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's a good one. It is a black IPA, which I know you love, Greg, too.
Mm-hmm.
They are
not
delicious.
enough black IPAs in the world.
Not enough. Definitely not enough. It is 7.9%.
Greg would call that 8, but it's 7.9.
Basically a triple. For me,
It's like a quad, right?
Yeah, it's like a quad. It's a 3.8. And it says schism, a split
that's not bad for a black IPA.
Yeah,
That's
I guess.
pretty decent.
I mean, I love them. It's that whole conundrum of people rating them because they don't like black IPAs, so they rate them low.
Mhm. People are dumb.
A split or division between strongly opposed sections or parties caused by differences in opinion or belief. How can something be black and pale? Cascadian dark ale? Or is it India black ale? Let's let the others argue about it while we enjoy a beer. This beer is rich, dark, and hoppy. We call it good. Let's drink. And it's very dark, and it had a really nice fluffy white head and some great lacing on it. It's been sitting for a minute. It smells kind of bready and smoky. If those are
interesting.
I know.
Any like chocolatiness? That's my favorite thing about black IPAs. You get a little chocolate in there.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm not trying to influence your schnoz
Chocolatey
there.
would be a little better, maybe description than smoky, but kind of tastes smoky to me too. So I don't know. There's a lot going on with this beer. It's roasty. It's got a lot of bitterness, and it lingers. It's got a lot of dank that kind of hangs on. There's a lot of flavors going on. As it warms up, it's even more and more. And the can is really cool. I mean, I'd give it a 3.8, which I think it actually fits.
By the way, I don't want to say anything out loud, but hats off to your internet tonight. It's really holding up. The can
great.
is clear.
There it goes. Just tanking. Just
I just knocked
That's
on
good.
wood.
Me too.
I am not ashamed to say one of my favorite of all time was actually from Stone in their Enjoy By series 1 year for Valentine's Day. They did Enjoy By 414 or 214. Can't remember what year. And it was a chocolate IPA, and they called it a chocolate IPA. It was a black IPA. So good. Britt over at Naughty Pine does a really good one once a year. And love me a good black IPA.
Yeah. What's that brewery that's on the water in San Diego that you had told me to go? They have some really, like a really good black IPA I think I had there. Just
and
delicious.
They have a great view.
And a great view, which makes everything just like another notch.
EPPIG, Epic Brewing. They have a waterfront location. It is so nice just to hang out and stare at the boats and have some beers and like a block down the beach, I guess, the harbor there. There's a sausage shop. You can get some sausages and good stuff. I haven't been to San Diego in a couple of years, and I am jonesing for it.
It's a good one.
in for some sausage.
Sausage and beer.
Always.
Well, it's a good day.
Yeah, it is a good day. All right, a little news before we get out of here. First of all, I thought I'd mention that I went through the stats and I did stat run from first of last year to the end of last year because I wanted to see what was our most listened to show of the year. And any guesses?
I got none.
No.
We did a lot of shows.
We did a lot of shows. It was episode 400.
No
when
kidding.
Dan and Scott came back around and
No kidding.
nice little throwback there. So
Wow.
I thought it was gonna be like one of the interviews or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that episode the other day because something came up. I heard like an Admiral's commercial here. And I was
Speaking
like, oh,
of
fuck, that was fun as hell having Dan.
Speaking of sausage. Yeah.
That's a lot of dudes in one episode. We hear you guys. All right.
Yeah, 4 dudes, 1 pod. It was it was a lot. So, but it was a good time. So
That's
we'll
awesome.
have to recreate. Apparently, the people have spoken or have downloaded. Now, it doesn't say that they didn't turn it off 3 seconds in, but the people have downloaded. So there you go.
If they were smart,
Cool.
they would have turned it off.
Yeah, the smart ones did. As we all will know by now, President Jimmy Carter passed away a few days ago. And I just bring it up because I read this article that reminded me and was meant to remind everybody of like what Jimmy Carter did for beer and for craft beer, especially.
For sure. Yeah.
He's the one that legalized home brewing in 1978, which led to the founding of Sierra Nevada. And of course, I'm sure Sierra Nevada has led to the opening of like most craft breweries since and all that shit. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but it was from the Wall Street Journal. If anybody wants to read it, it's called How Jimmy Carter Jump-Started the Craft Beer Revolution. Dude was born in 1924.
24, yeah.
24, 100 years old. So hats off. Well, hats
99.
off. Cheers.
Wasn't he 99? Was he 100?
He was 100. It was October of
that's
24
right.
to December of 24.
Some guy joked at work that said, wow, dude couldn't even make it to 2025.
Jeez.
It's like,
Too soon. Too
Harsh.
Jesus
soon.
Christ, he was 100 years old, man.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me think of like, okay, going to Egypt, there was an Egyptian god called Bes, and he was like the god of beer. And they had him, he was kind of a crazy looking dude that would be like on some of the hieroglyphics and stuff. So anyways, I'm thinking like he should be our god of beer, right? Like, come
Yeah.
on. Thank you for Jimmy Carter. I mean,
Well, and the reason he legalized it was because his brother was into brewing.
okay,
And he had like his own brewing company.
a little nepotism, but you know,
So
see that in politics plenty. So, you know, let's
Constantly. Big case of who gives a fuck. Pabst enters contract brewing agreement with Anheuser-Busch.
what?
Yeah. So it's been Miller Coors forever has been
Right.
brewing PBR. Well, now
Right.
it'll be Budweiser.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sure all the rednecks won't realize it and they'll keep drinking their PBR and one day they'll shoot their cans. Who knows? Saw this story today, right before we started recording, and had to add it to the show. WWE takes minority ownership stake in Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. Brother.
Weird.
Yeah. The partnership reveal coincides with WWE's flagship program, Monday Night Raw, moving to Netflix starting this week. As part of the deal, the Real American Beer logo will be featured on the ring mat corner on episodes of Raw going forward, as well as other WWE assets. Former wrestling star and all-around ass face Hulk Hogan and a team that sorry, I made that up. That wasn't there. And a team that included Anheuser-Busch InBev vet Terry Francis as CEO launched Real American Beer in June of 2024. The 4.2% ABV light lager generated $1.7 million in off-premise sales year to date through December 21st. WWE will provide Real American Beer social and digital support, including original short-form content that will be distributed across WWE's social and digital channels. The brand will also have access to WWE's trademarks, wrestlers, and personalities for in-store point-of-sale materials and promotional displays. Only Flex will get this, but I'm really hoping we see a CM Punk Real American Beer display.
Yeah.
For Erica and the rest of non-wrestling
the
fans.
NA version.
Yeah, CM Punk is straight edge. He doesn't drink or do drugs or anything.
Oh, okay.
He's a wrestler. So, anyways. Flex.
Yo.
I put this story in for you. You almost didn't make the show. I'm glad you did.
Thank goodness.
Is it a list?
We have a list.
Oh, I love lists.
Start off the new year.
I hope it's one of them top 10 beer lists of the year that we don't know any of the breweries.
It's not far off. It's 5 must-try IPAs from 2024.
Okay.
And I've reviewed the list, and none of them were started in 2024. I mean, maybe some of them were, but some of them are quite old. So let me know if anybody's had any. Shout out to number 5 here, Highland Park Brewing out of LA. Their double dry hopped Pillow was number 5.
Sounds soft.
It's very soft. Cleopatra Caius Farm Brewery from Caius Farm Brewery. That's out of Connecticut. I can't pronounce things.
No,
This
relates
one
to
is-
Erica's trip, kind of.
That's true.
I guess. Yeah. Cleopatra.
Connecticut. Cleopatra. I get it.
Yeah.
Jeez,
You know, they don't talk
Connecticut.
about Cleopatra there because they don't care about the same people we do. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
interesting.
She's all
Anyways.
I care about when it comes to
Yeah.
Egypt.
Right.
This one's been around forever. I had the opportunity of getting one a few years back. Sip of Sunshine from Lawson's Finest Liquids.
I've only ever seen it. I've never had it.
I had it once. It was tasty. Would drink. It's called 10 out of 10. Would drink again from Pillow and Oats in Beacon, New York.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have heard of this one before, but Green from Treehouse Brewing out of Massachusetts.
Oh,
So,
who are they? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Some little old brewery on the East Coast there. So yeah, most of these I don't think are new to 2024.
Okay.
Fucking list, man.
Yeah.
Who made
there's-
this
it's-
list?
Forbes.
Where do they get? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fact
Forbes.
check. Yeah.
They just know rich people.
Rich people.
Yeah. Go back to your money stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. They were paid to list these breweries.
Probably. Though I don't think Treehouse needs that type of
No, they
advertisement.
definitely
Or
do not.
any. If you like beer, you know what the fuck Treehouse is.
Yeah. Which I've never had a treehouse.
Oh, never ever?
No, never have I ever.
All right. Hey, Deb and intern Brian, the next time you're in that hood, we're going to have to bring back some treehouse for Erica.
There we go.
The problem with treehouse, though, I know this from both Deb and Brian as well as Not Murderer John, is you can't just go buy a 4-pack and leave.
You can't.
Minimum case.
Single cans, right?
No, case.
Oh, you have to buy a whole case?
Case at a time, baby. There is no messing around at treehouse.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Yeah. And you can do like a case of all one thing, or like what John did was some sort of like pre-built mixed case. And he's like, I came out with some beers and here they are. And there happens to be a hazy pale. So he gave it to me. Very nice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of weird.
Someday.
Yeah.
Might have to be a Tavour. But
yeah, I don't think they need the help of Tavour.
No, they definitely
I'm just
don't.
figuring like how I would get a hold of one. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe if D&B or Not Murder John heads back that way, we can get a couple of
hook it up.
Yeah. So
I've had one from Zach. Zach sent me one.
Oh, Zach.
Shout out Zach.
I had another from a friend of a friend he's like a guy who does day trips to Treehouse, buys a shit ton of beer and then just flies back home.
That's it?
Yes.
And he's not a pilot, is he?
No, this is not Pilot Friend.
Just buys a plane ticket, goes to Treehouse and comes home.
Yep.
All right. Does he like shove cans up his ass to get him on the plane?
No.
How intense are we talking here?
Just brings an empty suitcase with him.
All right. Fly Southwest.
Dang.
Check it. Check
That's
it for free.
That's what he does.
All right. I bet he makes a killing off of those too. Or did for a while. I don't know if people care anymore.
He really just drinks it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
he does. Yeah, he's not like a mule or like a third party seller or something. He just literally goes there to get the beer for himself and then to share with friends, and that's what he does.
All right, well, good for him.
He actually talked to his wife. He was telling me the story when I met him. Talked his wife into having their honeymoon in like the Boston area.
Yeah, nothing says romance like Boston.
So then he could drive, like 2 hours or whatever it is from there to go to Treehouse and get a shit ton of beer and then come back home.
Yeah, mornings at Dunkin' and afternoons at Treehouse.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the life.
Yeah, it's something. All right, let's get on up out of here. Hey, Happy New Year, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
Oh, Happy New Year, Vanessa. Yeah.
Yeah, or Feliz Nuevo Año.
Oh,
got it.
She'll tell me how bad that was. Don't worry. She speaks Spanish too. All right. Follow us all on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at Flex Media Beer, and at Necknosh LLC _LLC. 805-538 Beer 2337. Do not support Dry January if it's the last thing you don't do. I think that's everything. Erica, thanks for hanging. If you're bored next week, come back around.
All right.
We'll see We'll see what's going on. All right. Hope everyone out there is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.